to be talking about the TM1000, how you add channels because they do move on the satellite. I'll come back to that in a moment. Also how you delete channels and how you move channels. The remote has an OK button in the middle and then an arrow right, some would call that volume plus, arrow left, arrow up and arrow down. Also you'll find on the remote, and they can be in slightly different places, you'll find a menu button and an exit button. We don't need to touch anything to do with the dish settings, that's called the antenna, and we don't need to touch the satellite settings because we mustn't mess those up because you won't be watching the right satellite and you'd lose everything. What does happen on the satellite is that from time to time, and the Christian channels by the way have no control over this, from time to time channels change their identity or their number, their frequency, and what we have to do is to reprogram that into the box in order that the box can see the right channels. The great joy of our boxes is that you can delete whatever you want from it and you can make sure that what the family is watching is what you want them to watch. Also, I would just mention that our box does offer the ability to work with any TV, therefore you don't need to buy a new digital telly to conform with the digital switch, because all our stuff does, and hence we give it the mark of the digital cross. The reason I'm giving this demonstration is because Revelation and Genesis are changing frequency to 11260 V 27500 and 2/3. So in order to add a channel we need to go into the menu, so we press the menu button, we come up to the word installation. On some models you'll find you'll be asked for a password when you first go into the menu. The password is 2414, that's based on Matthew 24 verse 14. You then come to the top item here, which is installation. We have to go through that now. I press enter, I'm asked for my password, it's 2414, and I come down now. I'm arrowing down by the way to do that. I pressed OK on installation and I arrow down to the word advanced search. When that turns yellow I press OK and I'm now on the word satellite. I mentioned we don't need to touch that, so we come down now to transponder. What we're going to do, we want to put in a new one now for Revelation and Genesis, so I'm going to press the green button that's next to the red one. So I press that and I'm going to put in 11260 from the remote. I arrow down and I put in the symbol rate that we've been given, which is 27500. I arrow down each time, I arrow down again, and this happens to say vertical, but on here you can actually arrow left and right for vertical and horizontal. This is now vertical, which it should be. I arrow down again and I'm on the search type. There are three types of search. There's all channel, arrow right, and you get FTA only, which means free to air, which is what you want. You don't want to pull in the scrambled or pay channels, because if you did that you'd then have to delete them anyway. So we'll arrow around until we get free to air. We then arrow down. We need to make sure that the network search is off. And now if you look at the bottom of the screen you'll see that there are two bars, a yellow and a blue, saying level and quality. Now if those bars are red you have a problem, and the problem is quite simply that you're not getting a powerful enough signal. Maybe there's a tree in the way, maybe the dish is a little bit faulty or out of a line, or maybe the box is faulty, but if it's red you're not going to be able to pull the channel in. When it locks onto the dish it turns yellow and blue, and on the right hand side it shows you the percentage. In this case we have here 82% of level and 73% on quality. I now press the red button at the bottom next to the green one, and that will operate as it says in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, scan. And it's very quick, it just says saving, please wait, and the job is done. You'll never know what it's saved because it's so quick. So we now press exit, which is bottom left. Having pressed exit after it's searched, I'm now on the word advanced search. I press exit a second time and the word installation now lights up, and that's in blue. We arrow down now to the word edit channels. What we're going to do is delete the channels we don't want and move the ones that we want. So here we go. I press OK on edit channels, ask me for the password, which again is 2414 or 0000. You normally will come to the top at the word set favorites, and you need to arrow down until you get to delete channels. When that's highlighted, we press OK. We're now on first of the channels you've just added, and a satellite box, no matter what make, will always add the channels at the end of the list. If I arrow up one to see where I am, and I'm actually on the end here, just below channel 5, so my box did go up to channel 5 as the last channel. Open Access 3 has become my first channel. So the ones I need are 52126 and 52127, being Genesis and Revelation TV. So I'm going to press the OK button over the ones I don't want. I'll leave these two without a cross. Just to mention to you, should you make a mistake and press OK when you shouldn't, it will turn the cross off, and you can press it again to put the cross back on. You'll notice here, as we always have on our satellite boxes, God Europe as number 1, God Channel is number 2, then we have Revelation and Genesis. That's actually what we're going to need to change in a minute. So we will delete the old Revelation and the old Genesis because they're going to go off air very shortly. I now press exit, and what it says here is, do you want to delete? In order to delete, I need to arrow left so the word yes lights up in yellow, and then we press OK. It says saving, please wait, and the job is done. Now we need to move channels, so we arrow up so that the word move channels is in yellow, and we press OK. We arrow down now. Sorry, we arrow up. It's at the end of the list, so it's much quicker to arrow up than it is to arrow down. And now we go on 52126. Once you press the OK button, you can then move this channel to wherever you want to go. It's actually quicker to just press the number 3 and wait, and it drops it in at number 3. The up and down arrows are still on this light blue colour, so I press OK to drop it. I go back up to get the other channel, 52127, which is Revelation. I press OK, and this time I'll arrow down to show you. I'll arrow down till it's in position number 3 and press OK. You'll see it's gone yellow because I've dropped it there. Those channel names should change when it changes on the satellite. So at the moment, Revelation and Genesis are sending out a signal from their old location on the satellite and their new location. That's called dual illumination. I press exit. It says, do you want to save your settings? Obviously you have to say yes, so I arrow left to say yes and press OK. I then press exit, exit again, and I'm back on my number 1 channel on the God channel. If I press OK, I'll see now that God channel is also at number 2, and number 3 is 52127. Press OK twice and you'll see the R revolving in the right hand corner. I have Revelation. If I arrow up, it goes to number 4, and you'll see the G revolving, which is Genesis. The job is done. I think that sums it up. If you've got a query, we'd be glad to hear from you, and may God bless you, and thank you for listening.